indicator.
Yeah.
Now we're okay. Hi, my name is George Burke. I'm one of the co-founders at Portal. Here are two of my other co-founders, Dr. Chandra Dugarala and Manoj Dugarala. And we're here to give you an update on Portal. The space has been heating up. Bitcoin is the narrative. I'm here to introduce these guys and go ahead. Chandra, why don't you start?
Hey guys, thanks for joining us today. We just want to give a couple of updates on what's happening with Portal and lots of exciting developments. So feel free to ask away. Trolls will be ignored, of course, but um, can you guys? So BN asks, can you guys provide more info about partnerships that you already have of projects that are planning to use your products? So Portal is the hub of liquidity for all layered applications built on top of Bitcoin. So we have several partnerships that are coming up. You must have seen one announcement come through the day before. There's going to be more integrations of Portal's layer 2 atomic swaps by many Bitcoin L2s. We believe that as we have always, that value on Bitcoin will be built on top in many layers. There will be pegged side chains, there will be unpegged side chains. All sorts of experiments will be done for application specific purposes. There will be DeFi chains, there will be other chains. All of those assets issued on those other layers will need to have a trust minimized exchangeability to base level Bitcoin and to PRCs and ordinals that are also issued on L1 on Bitcoin and to other chains. And Portal serves as the hub of that. 225 Anderson. Hopefully, the team will give us a credible roadmap. Well, we're already in testnet. If you haven't used any of our products, please do so on test flight. Manoj can tell you a little bit more about the coming upgrades to the testnet and mainnet readiness.
Yeah, we're basically doing the deployment in phases. So the first version is peer-to-peer swaps. All the contracts on the chains are written. So the next upgrade is going to be an AMM. So it'll be a seamless experience. We have a iOS test flight beta, so you can. It's publicly available. The link, we'll also post it in Telegram chat. You can join, but we'll also be releasing a web app. We're working on a browser extension to make it very seamless experience. Once that is there, we'll release it. Chandra, you want to take that?
Yeah, Muhammad, is that the one?
Yeah.
Hey team, wanted to know how the Portal network is channeling the seed round funding in platform development. Well, good question. About 75% of our expenses are in development, engineering, and product development. The rest is in partnerships, getting the ecosystem, and adoption. It's that simple.
Okay.
Rizwan Habib, can you share some insights into it's basically the same question to how the successful funding round will impact the project's roadmap going forward? Well, the roadmap is actually on track. Like Manoj said, we are peer-to-peer swaps are already live in testnet. You can download them and try them on test flight. Once the AMM contracts are live, it'll be much more seamless. And then another round of audits. First round of audits are done, fixes are in, and then it should be mainnet ready. Will there be any incentives for testnet participants? Great question. I mean, right now you can swap, you will soon be able to stake, um, and there will be incentives announced such as mainnet uh, incentives, etc., for testnet participants, especially for the validator set.
How many people working for Portal currently, Mark? We have about 23 engineering contractor full-time jobs, and then we have how many would you say, Chandra, overall?
Overall, about 30. And that's the split, 23 on the engineering and product side, and the rest is on contractors and biz dev partnerships. Will there be an airdrop as a part of marketing? Serkan Tote. Okay, that question is still being reviewed by legal. There may be an airdrop from the foundation, but you guys will know first before anybody else. The community will know first. Why is the swap button not active? Well, I would ask you to check to see if you have balances of ETH and Bitcoin in your wallet. If you do, move some of the Bitcoin to Lightning, and then the swap button should be active. Is there any other bug that we noticed, Manoj?
Not that we know of. I mean, if there are any bugs, we'll get the issue on GitHub through Bugsnag. But keep in mind, guys, this is peer-to-peer swaps, which means there has to be a counterparty for you to trade. That's the reason why we're upgrading to AMM, and it's not a trivial task. I mean, AMM without any custody of funds is never been done before on Bitcoin. If you see all the Bitcoin layer 2s, it's all funds locked up in vaults and wallets with multi-sig of validators, but we're not doing that. So we'll talk about the innovations we made on the Lightning side, how we're scaling it, and how we're doing this AMM on Bitcoin. But Chandra will be presenting at Bitcoin Renaissance at ETHDenver on that.
Sure.
Are you planning to attend any conferences, Chitlot? So yeah, we'll be at ETHDenver. Chandra, do you know any others that we're going?
In 2049. Lots of Bitcoin conferences. The main one in Miami. So we'll be presenting everywhere. That's important. Like Manoj said, it took a lot of innovations to get here. No one's ever built a true Bitcoin-based AMM. No one's ever built a non-custodial delegation. Layer 1 atomic swaps is easy. Portal's atomic swaps is hype all around, says Loki. Yes, that's for a good reason, because no one's ever actually successfully done layer 2 atomic swaps with an AMM with no custody or trusted third party or bridges or wrapping in the middle between Bitcoin and any other chain, or between Bitcoin layered assets. So we should be the hype all around, because we've built something very fundamental that's never been done before. 225 Anderson, which date do you have in mind to release the product, please? Well, like we said, mainnet ready by March. Testnet you can already test now. You can play around with the download the wallet and play around. Mark, since Bitcoin is performing overwhelmingly and market conditions look great, when can TGE be expected? Again, like I said, the network will be mainnet ready by March, and the validators decide when to deploy the contracts on mainnet and what happens after. How can community members contribute? Wonderful. So our marketing team has several initiatives, including Zeely campaigns, etc. You guys can all participate, spread the word, and get some rewards. What Emma Williams says, what products are in build mode currently, and where can we find more real-time details of the same? Like I said, if you want to download the DEX and the wallet, you can do so on test flight. You can add your name to a list. You'll get an invite. Download it. A lot of people have downloaded it. And if you are interested in Rafa, which is the AI investment co-pilot, it's the best of the breed. There's nothing like it, nothing even close to it anywhere. You can download that on test flight as well. There will be a major product launch in March. You can do so now. You can also get on the interest list for that. We will send you an invite. Beyond that, there are third-party products that integrate Portal. There will be news coming almost every week, like more than once, of all of the partners that are integrating the Swaps SDK. Crit Lot. Are you planning a roadshow, like conferences, meetups? Well, like we said, we'll be at, I'm doing one of the keynotes at Bitcoin Renaissance. Manoj will be on a panel there. We will be at Token 2049, the main Bitcoin conference. I haven't heard about the Nashville one, but I just found out about it. We will look into it, and we'd love to present there as well. Hazel, when can we see Portal Dex launching? Can't wait my BTC to go bridgeless. Just wait a little bit longer. No need for bridges, no need for wrappers, no need for pseudo custodial solutions that can lose you money. That's our goal. If you think about why we do what we do, the biggest problem in this space has always been custody, from Mt. Gox to FTX to Orbit or Wormhole or multi-chain. All of the problems in crypto, almost all of them exclusively come to custody and poorly secured user funds. And with Portal, that just goes away. And you're right, you don't need to have any bridges anymore. Don't have to worry about your money being lost at all. Marvelous Isaac. Are there any plans to integrate cross-chain functionality to enable trading with assets from other blockchain? Yes, of course. Right now we do Bitcoin, ETH layer 2s, some other networks like Eternity, but of course, the plan is to make it compatible with as many chains as possible.
This guy Tim Putin asks how Rafa is coming along in the entire picture of DeFi on Bitcoin that the portal is fostering. Go ahead, John.
Great question. So, when we did our research and customer development, almost 90% of the users who have traditional financial assets exposure, which is they play in the equities bond space, they also have crypto. And so Rafa right now does analysis of all of the equities and traditional financial instruments. It does some of the cryptos, the top ones. It'll include more and more of the cryptos, but more importantly, the agent capabilities will be extended to interact without any intermediary with your wallet. The agent capabilities will be extended to integrate with your crypto brokerage accounts if you have any through API keys. So it's going to be seamless functionality. Like we said, we want to give people financial superpowers. Self-sovereignty is with Portal Dex, and intelligent investing is the other one. I mean, just because you hold your money doesn't necessarily mean you know how to invest, and that's where Rafa comes in. And it can also do those things for you by interacting with our wallet and other third-party wallets. And now you can do so with no custodial risk through Portal Dex. Mana Morris, how does Portal ensure fair and transparent price discovery for Bitcoin and other traded assets? That's a great question. So in the DEX, through the AMM, this is always the problem, is AMMs don't set prices, right? AMMs basically give you a price based on the reserve and whatever formula is used. The AMM price moves closer to the market price when arbitragers arbitrage the difference, take profits by making or taking these orders. In the Portal DEX, you will actually see a reference price, which is a weighted average of all of the prices coming from centralized exchanges and maybe some DEXs as a reference. And so users can make that decision on the prices. So there will be a price oracle approach. So you can have some external market prices, and then the AMM price will closely track it. Rizwan Habib, what are some of the criteria that were used to select the renowned names for seed round fundraising in crypto space? I mean, like any other startup, you look at tier one VCs that are value add, and you look for network and brand, and that's basically it. What's the plan and what's the next in pipeline to expand the portal ecosystem? I'll tell you part of the partnership strategy, and Manoj can tell you more about the technical capabilities. So, like I said, there are many layers of applications being built on Bitcoin. Whether you call them L2s, whether you call them side chains, they're all a particular application specific chain, and that has to interact with base layer Bitcoin and base layer assets like BRC20 inscriptions, etc. So they need to be swappable without a bridge, without a multi-sig custody, without any custodial risk. And that's where Portal comes in. It's truly the gateway between Bitcoin, other layered assets, and other chains. So that's the primary focus of our business development and partnership strategy. Manoj, can you speak a little bit about what other capabilities may be coming for third
Yeah.
parties?
Yeah. So some of you guys also asked the question, what's the major difference between us and other decentralized exchanges? So I think the most innovation is on the Bitcoin side for us. You know, 2 years ago we looked at building our own L2, or at least looked at that route. But honestly, we're not inheriting any security from Bitcoin by going down that route. So we decided to just work with Lightning. And Lightning has some inherent limitations. People need to be online to do the invoices and payments. And also, the economics of opening the channel is going to be very hard if you want, mass, use cases. So we innovated on that front. We are building a channel factory, what is known as a channel factory, which was to date only a proposal, but we have adapted it. We built it keeping the portal decks in mind, but eventually it'll be used for other applications too. Also, the people being online, we think we solved it with a delegation on Lightning, so which is a game changer. So what we're working on that front could go beyond just the AMM. There could be more use cases. And now all the L2s are getting all the hype, but we're inheriting Bitcoin security.
And we want there to be more L2s because all these L2s will need bridgeless, swappability or spot market availability with native Bitcoin. And that's what we provide. So we like the fact that there are a lot of these L2s. That was part of our thesis, is that there will be a lot of L2s and Portal will serve as the hub for all these L2 assets to go in and out of Bitcoin. Muhammad Ali Imran, how is the Babylon integration coming off for Portal Notary Chain, and what does it mean for the entire community? Okay, Babylon does a couple of things. One is Bitcoin timestamping to secure a chain, which we can use, obviously, because the Portal Notary Chain is its own chain. It witnesses all the swaps, the ordering, and the timing, and all of that. So we can use Bitcoin timestamping as an additional security mechanism. And you can also stake Bitcoin using Babylon. So if you want to bootstrap, before having enough of the export token, you can use Bitcoin to bootstrap your staking, become a validator, and earn block rewards that way. So those are the two key components of Babylon integration. How can community members contribute to support the project's initiatives mentioned in today's call? Well, okay, so the community managers will be heavily involved with all of the campaigns that we do. Some of them may be Zeely campaigns. There's an ambassador program. Download the testnet wallet. That's the number one thing, right? Add your name to the test flight invites. You'll get invites. Download, play with it. If there are any bugs or issues, let us know. Spread the word. Post on Twitter, Discord, or Telegram channel. I think this question from Pelumi Shonubi was already answered. What differentiates Portal from other DEXs on Bitcoin network? There has been no DEX on Bitcoin network as far as you know. That doesn't include custody or a multi-sig. If you talk about Thorchain, the validators custody your funds, and they claim that they have synthetics which are not wrapped. And so there's all sorts of shenanigans like this to bamboozle investors and potentially lose you your money. We don't do any of that stuff. Remember these two key things: Bitcoin AMM, layer 2 atomic swaps, and non-custodial delegation, things that have never been done before. That's what we bring to the table. Marvelous Isaac, how does Portal handle order matching? Okay, right now with peer-to-peer swaps, you have to have a matched order on the other side. With the Bitcoin AMM, you don't have to. That's the key innovation.
Will Portal also support SRC20?
SRC.
I don't know what SRC20 is. We do support BRC20, but we're also considering a layer 2 just for BRC20s, which has never been done before because they're not really fungible.
Right. So there's a bunch of standards coming out. SRC20, I think, is
Solana?
no, Casey Rodarmore's new thing, and then there's another one called Rune or Runes. It's another token standard. I mean, you know, we can talk about the limitations of BRC20 standard and stuff like that. But look, whatever takes adoption, BRC27 adoption now, like you said, you know, Manoj said we're building a custom channel to support that. If other standards get a lot of adoption, of course, we would be right there to support all of them. Our vision is to support all these layers and all of these different assets built on Bitcoin. Mana Morris, can you outline the user experience on Portal? Please download the wallet. It's super slick interface. It's super easy to set up your custom channels, swaps. You know, the matching order problem is the only issue right now, but only until the AMM comes on. How does Portal ensure the security and privacy of user transactions? Security, because it is bridgeless, you can verify basically all these contracts on both sides. It's completely verified. Privacy, these are off-chain, so they won't necessarily always be on the blockchain, just like Lightning. So that is enhanced privacy compared to layer 1 transactions. Let's see. What are the advantages of using Portal over traditional centralized exchanges for Bitcoin trading? Great question. So you get the benefits of centralized exchanges, which is the user experience, the speed, the low fees, and liquidity soon. But you have the biggest advantage where you're not actually custodying your funds with the centralized exchange, and they can't arbitrarily shut down your account. They cannot take your funds and disappear. They can't lose your money. That's the key difference. That's the roadmap, and the goal we set ourselves is feature parity with centralized exchanges, but with enhanced security, no loss of custody.
And privacy.
And privacy, yeah. David, does Portal Network mainnet launch mean we will be able to use the DEX and Bitcoin directly without bridges as Portal promises? Yes, absolutely. In what ways will the project's participation in ETHDenver 2024 benefit our community and overall project visibility? Well, you said it. It increases awareness. It dispels lots of misconceptions in the space about how bridges are safe or can be secured, or BitVM is going to make all bridges secure. And there's a lot of this nonsense, and this will give us an opportunity to dispel most of this stuff. This is a highly technical space, and a lot of projects use jargon to obscure their insecure approaches. And so the more exposure we get, the more we're able to explain to the community, the better people will understand that you don't have to take that custodial risk when you're doing your DeFi.
Who is in charge for marketing? Is there a CMO?
We are in the process of announcing our new CMO. Please wait for an announcement in the next week or two. And top notch from many successful projects. That's all I can say right now. We don't want to front run our own news. How does Portal address the scalability challenges of Bitcoin network? Well, that's the reason why we don't do layer 1 atomic swaps. We do layer 2 atomic swaps. Most of these transactions are unbroadcast to the chain, right? Like they're not broadcast to the chain, so they don't actually get into the block and cause congestion. But you can trust it just like you trust the Lightning outputs, because you know what the contract states are, you know what the time locks are, and you verify it on both sides. So this is how it scales. You don't have to compress, you don't have to congest the Bitcoin network. These are layer 2 atomic swaps. How do you intend to deal with KYC regulations under applicable law if swaps are decentralized? There is a compliance module in the Portal OS. So all of the validators, by default, it'll be turned on. Like, for example, the OFAC blacklist, et cetera, they will all be compliant. We don't control the network after it goes to mainnet. We recommend all of the validators keep the compliance module turned on and update it periodically. But since we don't control the network, it's on the validators to do that. And it's very easy to be compliant if they choose to. What measures are in place to prevent front running and other forms of manipulation on Portal? Manoj, you want to take that up?
There are not many manipulations you could do because it's a fair trading market-based system. The one potential attack could be, if all the validators colluded somehow, then they can do the denial of service, which essentially is not in their self-interest because they earn their rewards by facilitating this.
And they've also staked a lot of export.
Yeah.
So this question, I think, comes from most the Ethereum mindset, where miners try to front run and there's these MEV attacks. In our case, that isn't true because, like Manoj said, the validators could potentially front run all of these swaps, but they put a lot of money at stake to not do that. And if the chain halts, they get slashed. But the users don't lose their funds. They wait for the timeouts and they get their money back. So it's game theoretically, it doesn't make any sense for them to
that's the beauty of atomic swaps, right? Even if that section, the validators are compromised, you after the time locks, your money is back in your custody.
Right. And that's
collateral goes to other chains, other decentralized chains like Thorchain or Chainflip.
Pseudo decentralized, as we call them, because they have custody. Hemsworth, what are the technical feats we have attained? Again, I'm going to say the same thing. One is the Bitcoin AMM. 2 is non-custodial delegation. major accomplishments.
Pooling on Lightning, I would say. We'll be releasing a paper on that soon. So we don't want to front run that.
Yeah. Please stay. We'll keep you posted. Any word for investors without putting yourself in trouble? All of your patience and our hard work and time and effort will in due course be rewarded, we believe. You cannot ask for a better setup than what's happening this year. If you're aware, you're aware. So believe in Bitcoin and stay patient. Are there specific goals? I think we already answered. Specific goals or outcomes we are aiming for to achieve at ETHDenver 2024. Yes, we want to support many more 8th layer 2s, raise awareness of the project, basically replace all of the bridges, get into some fist fights with them bridge maxis, and so on and so forth. The last fight is a joke. We don't actually physically fight anyone, by the way. So how about recent fundraising? Like I said, it helps us accelerate. It's we've been making great progress. We've been very happy with the progress that we made, and you will be very happy with the products that you'll see and the integrations and the ecosystem. Can you please improve on communications? Absolutely. Yep. We're always trying to do better. We will increase the frequency of the news, of investor newsletters. And as I promised last year, we will be very transparent. And when there is something that you guys need to know, we will absolutely let you know. We may be slow because we're in a mad rush to get to mainnet readiness, but that doesn't mean we will ignore you.
Very important question. How many years difference is that?
Why don't you take that?
8.
Yeah.
Okay.
When can we expect Portal shares to be trading? Well, that you should request that question to investment@portaldefi.com. We can answer stuff like that in the public community chat.
What about information about TGE or share release?
Well, like I said, TG mainnet readiness, right? TGE and mainnet contract deployment depends on the validators. We don't control that. Portal, the company, will not be a part of the validator set by proclamation, right? So our goal is to get the network ready. When it happens, we can't give you a date, but it'll be ready by March.
But the share release, I keep seeing that question. I mean, investors should already have access to their shares, right?
Yes, if you have done all of the things that we've asked all of the investors to do many times over email, right? You should have an LTSC account. You should be able to see your shares in there. You should be able to see the cap table. All of this stuff has been done over last year. So if you haven't done so already, reach out to legal@portaldefi.com. We will resend you the invitation to the registered address, and then you should be able to see it. Most investors are able to access this. Some may have missed out, but well, thank you, BN. We take your feedback, and we will incorporate that into future operations. David, does Portal Network mainnet launch mean we will be able to use the DEX and Bitcoin directly without bridges as Portal promises? Yes. How the process of pulling it off initially looked like? Curious about the early days. It looked impossible. It looked impossibly difficult, and nobody cared. So that's kind of like any other startup. Will the shares be tokenized? Well, that's a question for a later time, not for the public community discussion. You guys have to remember, if you are a shareholder in the private rounds, your shares are subject to transfer restrictions, ROFRs, et cetera, which is standard term sheets for any private fundraising placement round. But if you have specific questions, feel free to send us a question to investment@portaldefi.com or legal@portaldefi.com. Any plans to release tokenomics soon? Yes. It'll be part of the validator documents. You can see some of that at docs.portaldefi.com. It'll be updated with the Genesis initial tokenomics, proposed tokenomics. All right, it looks like we're out of time. We will do more of these. Don't worry if you missed any questions. We will do more of these. We will do almost one every week, and we'll keep the process very transparent for you guys.
Okay. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you for taking the time.
Not enough. Not getting enough sleep. All right. Have a good day, guys.